pregnant woman held under Love Jihad law claims she miscarried in detention center.
नानी के दिन में 5-6 दिन हो गए थे, उसके बाद मेरे पेट में दर्द हुआ काफ़ी। उन्होंने मुझे दिखाया नहीं, फिर ज़्यादा तबीयत खराब हुई, सीरियस हो गई, तब मुझे हॉस्पिटल में लेके गए। हॉस्पिटल में मेरे दवाई और इंजेक्शन लगाए गए, उसकी वजह से मेरा मिसकैरेज हो चुका है काफ़ी।
Blames the administration for the miscarriage. The administration denies the charge.
उसको जो भी बेस्ट पॉसिबल ट्रीटमेंट हमारे यहाँ होता है सरकारी हॉस्पिटल में, वो हमने सब उसको दिया है।
Claims Love Jihad charge is fake. Says she's an adult. Marriage took place 5 months before the law was made. Says she was harassed by Bajrang Dal when she went to register her marriage.
इसका केवल लिखा हुआ है।
अरे एक मिनट, उससे क्या हो रहा है? ये बताओ मैं, इससे क्या हो रहा है? न्यूज़ पेपर में कोई निकलवा, इससे क्या हो रहा है? बताओ मैं निकलवा दूंगा। नहीं तो क्या है इसमें, कहाँ है धर्मांतरण?
अब ये मर्जी ना चलती है।
ये 1 महीने पहले परमिशन डीएम साहब से लेनी पड़ेगी। कानून पढ़ाना पड़ा जो बनाए हो, ये तुम जैसों के लिए बनाना पड़ा है। डीएम साहब से परमिशन ली है धर्मांतरण की।
Love Jihad law claims first casualty. Law being misused to hound couples. That's the question we ask on To The Point this evening.
All right, so good evening. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhary. Pinky weds Rashid 5 months ago. 5 months ago, 4 months before the Love Jihad law comes in place in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Pinky is 22 years of age, which is an adult. Pinky says she married of her own volition. However, even though she says she has a nikah nahma of July this year from Dehradun, she was detained at the behest of Bajrang Dal workers, detained in a Nari Niketan center while her husband has been arrested and her brother-in-law has been arrested under the new Love Jihad law in Uttar Pradesh. Which brings us to ask one question. Is the Love Jihad law being misused? Because Pinky now says she was pregnant when she went into this detention at a Nari Niketan because of this law, and they gave her, what Pinky says is, they allegedly gave her an injection which led her to miscarry her child.
डीएम साहब को परमिशन दिखा दे धर्म परिवर्तन करने की, और चली जा।
Harassed,
धर्मांतरण का कोई वो है तुम्हारे पास?
bullied,
डीएम साहब से परमिशन ली है धर्मांतरण की।
and questioned.
This small town of Kant shoot to headline this month after a pregnant woman was sent to women's shelter under Uttar Pradesh new anti-conversion law, where she alleged she had miscarriage.
All unfolded in a matter of days. 5 months after Pinky, a 22-year-old Hindu woman, had married her Muslim boyfriend in Dehradun. Pinky's public statements as an adult woman did not desist these anti-Love Jihad campaigners to accost her.
ये 1 महीने पहले परमिशन डीएम साहब से लेनी पड़ेगी। कानून पढ़ाना पड़ा जो बनाए हो। कार्यकर्ताओं के द्वारा, कार्यकर्ताओं के माध्यम से पता चला था कि एक देहरादून की हिंदू लड़की है और एक मुस्लिम लड़के के साथ वो धर्म परिवर्तन कर रही है कांट तहसील में। अभी इनसे सिर्फ इतना पूछा इनका नाम क्या, और अगली पूछताछ पुलिस के सामने होगी। इंस्पेक्टर साहब को फोन करता है और नाम इन्होंने बताया अपना पिंकी। अच्छा, और देखें यहाँ पे बुर्का पहने खड़े।
हमारी लड़की को
Opposed to her relationship, her mother lodged a police complaint on the 5th of this month that her daughter was forced into an interfaith marriage. Per the new law in the state, an FIR was lodged. Her husband and his brother were arrested, and she was sent to a women protection house.
लड़की का एज वेरीफाई किया गया, वो मेजर निकली। उनका 164 का स्टेटमेंट कराया गया था माननीय न्यायालय के सामने, जिसमें उन्होंने बताया कि वो बालिग हैं और अपनी मर्जी से उन्होंने शादी करना भी बताया। जुलाई में ही निकाह करने की बात उन्होंने बताई, और जो निकाह के डॉक्यूमेंट्स वगैरह हैं उसको भी अभी जांच की जा रही है, इन्वेस्टिगेशन के अधीन है अभी।
After Pinky was set free on the basis of her statement, she alleged she was tortured and suffered a miscarriage at the shelter.
फिर नानी के दिन में 5-6 दिन हो गए थे, उसके बाद मेरे पेट में दर्द हुआ काफ़ी। उन्होंने मुझे दिखाया नहीं, फिर ज़्यादा तबीयत खराब हुई, सीरियस हो गई, तब मुझे हॉस्पिटल में लेके गए। हॉस्पिटल में मेरे दवाई और इंजेक्शन लगाए गए, उसकी वजह से मेरा मिसकैरेज हो चुका है काफ़ी। मेरे को ब्लीडिंग हो रही है बहुत ज़्यादा, मेरी तबीयत भी ख़राब हो रही है सीरियसली।
Medical authorities in Moradabad say they found the fetus intact inside but without heartbeat. More tests have been recommended at a bigger hospital.
जो हमने अभी जो अल्ट्रासाउंड कराया था 14 तारीख को, तो उसमें फीटस तो बच्चेदानी के अंदर पूरा दिख रहा था 7 वीक्स 5 डेज के अराउंड, और लेकिन उसमें फीटल हार्ट हमको नज़र नहीं आ रही थी। तो उसमें जो हमारे अल्ट्रासोनोलॉजिस्ट है उन्होंने एडवाइस किया कि ट्रांसवेजाइनल सोनोग्राफी इसकी होनी चाहिए। तो उसके लिए फिर हम लोगों ने उसको मेरठ रेफर किया, और भी फर्दर की और जो बेटर ट्रीटमेंट हो सकता है।
It's not immediately clear whether Pinky has undergone further medical examination. For now, the woman has chosen to stay away from the media gaze. With Arvind Ojha, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, so Pinky now claims that she miscarried and she's blamed the administration. She said that my stomach was hurting, I kept complaining. When it got really bad, only then did they take me to the hospital. They gave me an injection, which led me to miscarry. This is what Pinky alleges. The administration, you heard them there, they said we only gave her an injection for stomach pain and we referred her to a bigger hospital. Is that the question? Or is it the question that Pinky was 22 years old, which is an adult, that Pinky has documents of her marriage, a nikah nama, which is of July from Dehradun, which was, the marriage took place 4 months before the Love Jihad law in Uttar Pradesh was formed. How is it that Pinky's husband is in jail and Pinky found herself in a detention center? I want to cut across right now to get a larger understanding from my colleague Arvind Ojha, who's joining us live from Moradabad. Arvind, एक तो ये बात है कि चलिए पिंकी कह रही हैं कि उनका मिसकैरेज हुआ है, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जो डॉक्टर हैं जो नारी निकेतन में जहाँ पे डिटेन किया था उनको ब्लेम करती हैं। पर अरविंद, ये जो इस लॉ के अंदर पिंकी को डिटेन किया है, राशिद जो उनके हस्बैंड हैं वो अरेस्टेड हैं, उनके ब्रदर इन लॉ अरेस्टेड हैं, पर पिंकी कह रही हैं वो अडल्ट हैं, 22 साल की हैं, उन्होंने अपने खुद ही शादी की है, अपनी मर्जी से की है, और कह रही हैं उनके पास निकाह नामा है जो 5 महीने पुराना है, बहुत पहले जब ये लॉ था ही नहीं, तो ये कैसे अरेस्ट हो गई?
देखिए, जो प्रीति आपने सवाल पूछा बहुत सही सवाल पूछा, और मैं आपको बताऊं राशिद गिरफ्तार होता नहीं, पिंकी वुमेन शेल्टर जाती नहीं। दरअसल ये जो बेसिक है इस पूरे केस का, वो बेसिक फैक्ट ही गलत है। 24 जुलाई 2020 को शादी हुई, निकाहनामा दिखाया गया। तो ये जो लव जिहाद का केस है, ये तो टेक्निकली अगर आप देखें तो ये लगता ही नहीं है, चार्जेस लगते ही नहीं है राशिद पर, जो यूपी पुलिस ने लगा दिया। इस पूरे केस पर बहुत जल्दीबाजी हुई। दरअसल 5 दिसंबर को राशिद और पिंकी दोनों मुरादाबाद आए थे। राशिद चाहता था कि जो उसकी शादी है वो रजिस्टर्ड हो जाए। वहाँ पर जो हमारे सोर्सेज है, चूँकि हम लोग इंडिया टुडे की टीम सुबह से मुरादाबाद में है, बजरंग दल के जो एक्टिविस्ट थे, बजरंग दल के कार्यकर्ता, वो सबसे पहले पहुँचते हैं। वहाँ पर हंगामा होता है। उसके बाद चूँकि मुरादाबाद में लड़की का फैमिली नहीं रहती, लड़की की मदर को बिजनौर से बुलाया जाता है देर रात को। उसके बाद पुलिस स्टेशन ले जाया जाता है और वहाँ पर FIR दर्ज कराई जाती है। उसके बाद राशिद और उसके भाई को जेल भेज दिया जाता है। जो पिंकी है उसको वुमेन शेल्टर भेज दिया जाता है। अब यहाँ पर पुलिस को इतनी जल्दबाजी क्यों थी? क्या पुलिस जो बजरंग दल के एक्टिविस्ट थे क्या उनके दबाव में थी? इतनी जल्दीबाजी क्या थी? क्योंकि लड़की लगातार कह रही थी कि वो 22 साल की है, उन लोगों ने शादी की है। तो क्या जो गिरफ्तारी के बाद पुलिस ने इन्वेस्टिगेशन की है यूपी पुलिस ने, क्या वो पहले नहीं की जा सकती थी? जैसा यूपी पुलिस क्लेम कर रही है कि अब उनको ये पता चल चुका है कि लड़की 22 साल की है। 164 के बयान दर्ज करा दिए गए हैं मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने, जिसमें वो बोल रही है कि उसने अपनी मर्जी से शादी की। तो गिरफ्तारी के पहले भी यूपी पुलिस, ये देखिए, ये बेसिक इन्वेस्टिगेशन होता है। किसी भी शख्स को आप जेल की सलाखों के पीछे भेज दें तो उसके पहले क्या ये जरूरी नहीं है कि जो बाद में किया गया 164 का बयान, लड़की का पहले भी 164 का बयान दर्ज कराया जाता, जिसमें सब कुछ क्लियर हो जाता कि मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने लड़की अगर कोई बयान देती कि मेरे साथ ज़बरदस्ती की है तो फिर जो आरोपी है उसको जेल भी भेज दिया जाता। अगर लड़की ये बयान देती जो दिया उसने कि उसने अपनी मर्जी से शादी की है, तो राशिद इतने दिन से 6 दिसंबर से जेल में है, वो जेल के अंदर नहीं होता। तो ये स्टेप बाय स्टेप खामियां हैं। और इसमें तो बेसिक की गड़बड़ है। जब 24 जुलाई को शादी हुई है तो टेक्निकली तौर पर लव जिहाद का केस तो लगता नहीं है। अब दूसरी बात, जिस तरह से लड़की ने ये क्लेम किया है कि मिसकैरेज हो गया है, तो जिस तरह से हमने जो डॉक्टर से बात की है, जो लड़की आरोप लगा रही है उसमें काफ़ी बल मिल रहा है, क्योंकि जो गर्भ है उसमें बच्चा तो है लेकिन उसके धड़कन नहीं है, तो काफ़ी बल मिल रहा है लड़की को। लेकिन शुरुआत से इसमें यूपी पुलिस की खामी, और कहीं ना कहीं ऐसा लगता है कि जो बजरंग दल के कार्यकर्ता हैं कहीं ना कहीं उनके दबाव में।
अरविंद, क्या उनके हस्बैंड राशिद को रिहा कर दिया गया है या अभी भी जेल में है?
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं। देखिए, अभी राशिद को जेल में ही रखा गया है। राशिद, न सिर्फ राशिद बल्कि उसका जो भाई है वो अभी भी जेल में है। पुलिस का कहना है कि जिस तरह के हमारे को इन्वेस्टिगेशन मिले और 164 का मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने बयान दर्ज कराया, तो हम ये बातें अदालत में रखेंगे। लेकिन फिलहाल की बात करें तो अभी भी राशिद और उसका भाई जेल में।
ऑलराइट, अप्रिशिएट यू जॉइनिंग अस अरविंद, बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे जुड़ने का। I want to cut across to a political panelist. Tom Vadakkan, Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, is with me. So is Ghanshyam Tiwari of the Samajwadi Party. Mr. Vadakkan, I'd like to begin with you, sir. And thank you for the patience. I know you've been waiting, but we had to go to our correspondent there. And what he said, Mr. Vadakkan, is appalling. 5 months ago, this woman is 22. She has a nikah nama with the date 4 months before the law takes over in Uttar Pradesh. She's thrown in detention. She's pregnant. Her husband is still rotting in jail for no fault of theirs. It's not even a case of love jihad.
Preeti, let me start with the fact that if the case is as it is described, there is a situation where I think the sensitization of the police, because the law is there, and who are the culprits at this need to be brought to the book. Whether the whole issue has been instigated by the parent of the girl. Issues, because nobody walking outside the world would know that she's got married and all that. If these volunteers are essentially being triggered by the parents, because a lot of parents have this orthodox view, be what it may. This is a very sad situation, because from what we can understand, that the girl has gone through all this, and then it is a very dangerous situation. If she's still carrying and is carrying a dead child, dead fetus, it can be more dangerous. Her medical condition needs to be examined immediately. The local doctors or whatever doctors are available, because carrying a dead fetus cannot be too healthy a situation. Now, let me take the case a little further. The point here is, this law has not been made to divide society. This law has been made for those people who, under deceit, marry young girls. Now, my own state, like Kerala, there are 10 widows abroad who have been married to men who have carried these women into the brotherhood. And today they are widows and are waiting permission to come back to India. This also exists. I mean, so there is no law there on love jihad or whatever. This is a situation, this is an ongoing development, which is sad that our society has to face such a situation. Preeti, I don't know, your days or my days, we all used to believe all is fair in love and war, and what is it? Love is blind, and we all brought up in that situation. But now that the situation has come to such a pass, it will be very difficult to find out exactly what is happening. Sensitizing of the police is very important, and the administration must take double care when such cases come up to ascertain. For example, there is a special marriage act where the marriage needs to be registered officially. So that marriage, basically these letter documents are not valid even if you go for a passport. You need a special marriage act and you need to get registered. So that is a documentation that holds ground. Otherwise, they can always argue that these documents are forged. These are documents that were made after the marriage. You can pay some money and get a certificate of that kind. So the government of GOI is very clear that you need to register all marriages under the Special Marriage Act, so that to ensure there's authenticity. Now, whatever be the case, I think this particular case warrants an inquiry and sensitizing of the police.
All right, Mr. Vadakkan, and Mr. Tiwari, if you give me just 2 minutes. Two things, Mr. Vadakkan, I'd like to raise here. Number one, are we being very naive when we say that there are certain Orthodox parents? Is it the handiwork of the Orthodox parents that they have complained, even though this girl was 22 years of age and an adult? Are we being naive there? Because why I say it, sir, coming back to what you said, that the marriage needs to be registered. This young girl, Pinky, was trying to get her marriage registered. She walked into the DM's office, she walked into the police station as well to want to do that. And sir, Mr. Vadakkan, I really want you to see this, because this is what was feared and this is exactly what has happened in this case. I want you to hear what happened to Pinky when she walked in to get her marriage registered. It wasn't her parents, sir. It wasn't her parents who reported her. It were Bajrang Dal activists. Listen in.
डीएम साहब की परमिशन दिखा दे धर्म परिवर्तन करने की और चली जा धर्मांतरण का कोई वो है तुम्हारे पास है
इसका केवल लिखा हुआ है
हाँ है लाओ दिखा अरे एक मिनट उससे क्या हो रहा है बताओ मैं इससे क्या हो रहा है न्यूज़ पेपर में कोई निकलवा इससे क्या हो रहा है बताओ मैं निकलवा दूंगा नहीं तो क्या क्या है इसमें कहाँ है धर्मांतरण
अब ये मर्जी ना चलती है
जो 1 महीने पहले परमिशन डीएम साहब से लेनी पड़ेगी कानून पढ़ाना पड़ा जो बनाए हो ये तुम जैसों के लिए बनाना पड़ा है
Mr. Vadakkan, if you don't have a screen, let me explain it. These are Bajrang Dal activists. There's cops standing next to them. Yeah. The cops are subservient to these activists who are standing inside a police station, sir. This young 22-year-old woman is trying to speak to the police. She's not being allowed.
Preeti, I fully understand. I'm seeing the visuals right in front of me and it's also on the screen. Look, 2-3 things. I'm not in any defense mode here. I'm only looking at the things in a perspective. There's the other side to the picture. She should have, instead of going to the DM immediately when she had the when she got the marriage document according to the Muslim tradition, she should have got it registered. What she did or did not do, or whether she was
Sir, the onus is not
aware
on
of
her.
the law.
The onus is not on her, Mr. Vadakkan. I want to bring in your co-panelist, Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari. This was what was feared, wasn't it? That it would be right-wing activists who will take over, and you have a classic case right now.
Preeti, a man full of hatred facing serious criminal charges was installed as Chief Minister by Bharatiya Janata Party. Another man facing serious criminal charges was installed
so let's not get there, let's stick to the topic.
This is diverting from the case.
Let's just stick to the topic. Mr. Tiwari, come on.
This is not the issue.
Okay, yes, I agree with you. Mr. Tiwari, let's stick to this. Yes, let him give him. Okay, Mr. Vadakkan, Mr. Tiwari, please go ahead.
No, you can't abuse an elected chief minister and take up his sentences.
All right,
if you want to, I can
Mr. Vadakkan, I've told him. Mr. Vadakkan, yes, it's, let's not digress, Mr. Tiwari. Let's stick to the topic. Go ahead, make your point.
I'm coming straight to the point. They don't have a track record of governance, invent diabolical laws without debates in assembly, without presenting a data. And then here it is a criminal case. Bajrang Dal, the Wall Street Journal put it on their page saying that this is a dangerous organization as reported by Facebook. These activists sit in a DM's office or sit in a marriage bureau and they decide which child should live and which child should not. A child is dead. Has anyone from this government sought forgiveness from this girl? Father is in jail. His brother is in jail. The mother is weeping. And Bajrang Dal will continue to be an organization that will do more and more of this. Last 3 cases, after this diabolical law was made, what were the last 3 cases? One marriage was disrupted by the same people after the guests had eaten food. We discussed it on this debate. Another couple, a Muslim couple, where husband and wife are both Muslims, their marriage was disrupted by the same set of people. And the third, a child dead, father in jail, his brother in jail. What kind of diabolical criminal society are they looking to build? The last time a king wanted dead children was Kansa. They are building a Kansa Raj. Kansa was also in Uttar Pradesh, and you have another chief minister who wants to who sees smiles when the children die like this. Somebody has to go to jail. It is not the father or the brother.
All right, Mr. Vadakkan. Mr. Vadakkan, it's appalling. It is appalling. You have these Bajrang Dal activists inside. They are running the police station, it seems, sir.
Preeti, my opening statement was that sensitization of the police and this kind of steps will be taken. I did speak to some people in the Uttar Pradesh administration. They are on to the situation, it's an ongoing situation, and work is in progress. So they are trying to sensitize the whole thing. But Mr. Tiwari has been eloquently speaking about this issue. Yes, I agree there's a lot of problems in it. But how do you explain the 10 widows from my state who are there outside India, weeping and wanting to come?
Made that point, yes. Mr. Tiwari, come in. Sir, let Mr. Tiwari answer. You made that point about Kerala. Mr. Tiwari, quickly come in and I'll need to close the debate, sir.
The law is not applicable in your state. This is absolutely poor logic. If you have a demand for law in your state, make it in your state. Don't invent diabolical laws and harass people like this. A child is dead, for God's sake. Who is the criminal who's arrested? Are the Bajrang Dal people? Not one of us would want this to happen to anyone in our family. And no one responds. Has Preeti Irani responded? Has the women minister in Uttar Pradesh responded? Has anyone in this government responded? BJP has several women members of parliament. Do they have any heart?
Okay, gentlemen. You know, that's a
I have responded. I am the spokesman of the party, and I've said the sensitization is required, and I have worked with the officers inside, and I've spoken to them before this. So I think there is a step. I represent the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Sir.
We will ensure that this kind of thing doesn't
gentlemen,
happen.
appreciate you joining us. But the sad part is a woman, 22-year-old, who said she married of her own volition much before the law was formed, today has lost a child. Whether it was because of the administration, the fact was she was detained and it happened there. With that, it's a quick break. To stay with us. Up next is Rahul Kawan. Hi everyone, Preeti Choudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.